Peace to the family. All right, let's go ahead and get started, man. We ain't gonna waste no time this week, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm Brandon B. Dixon, MLS 1541210 at Being That Loan Officer on all social media. Go to my YouTube, it's at Being That Loan Officer as well. Go to my website, www.applywithb.com. You want to book me for a consultation or you need a mortgage, 832-775-8357. You can call me 24/7. Also, BrandonBDixon.com if you want a lease list or get an evaluation or something like this on your property. Let me know. Last but not least, you got the COCInvestmentClub.com. Join the club if you want to mitigate your risk. You're trying to get into that fix and flip game, buy and hold, however you want to do it. So Corey, I got you teed up.
There we go. Corey Smith, broker owner of Commodore Mortgage, here for all your real estate needs.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and run it, man. I got a few clips. I don't remember which one was overlapping, but I ain't got too much on real estate because we've been, I got a few on real estate, but I'm gonna open up a little subject matter a little bit today, so I got a little bit, variety of clips, man. So
okay,
I wanted to play one to kind of break the ice, to kind of like funny, but it gonna open up a discussion too. So let me.
All right.
So let's go ahead and run it because this is one right here in H-Town. So I like the H-Town stuff. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and run it.
I'm sure you guys are wondering, how did this even start?
I ain't gonna keep telling them. Stop playing with me. Damn, feel me?
A few moments later.
Oh, shit.
His ankle came off.
Ooh.
What the hell?
Oh my God. Bro, tripping. Bro just fell from up there, bro. Bro, tripping. This dumbass nigga jumped from the second or third floor in the Galleria to the ice, running from the laws.
Broke both his legs.
Bro, both his shit. Look at his legs. You got to be the dumbest nigga in the world. Dumbass, bro. Oh, look at his legs.
Now the question is, do you still put him in handcuffs?
I think he probably got put in handcuffs and still probably went to jail until handcuffed to the bed.
He ain't running away. You know what I'm saying? That part. Hey, look, bro already knew he was messed up. He already knew his legs was broken. His ankle for sure. He already went and hopped on the phone and was trying to call for help. Hey man, I'm finna go down the county, man. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to come look out. Come get me.
Right. He went the crazy leg. What was that dude? That crazy leg from gonna be a minister drinking juice in the hood.
Yep.
Trying to stunt, man. the question is the reason that I put that at first, man. I want to open the discussion. Is this social media thing getting too out of whack, man? Like we doing all kind of stuff for the likes and the views.
And I don't think that was for likes and views though. I think old boy was truly trying to get over. And you know what I'm saying? It didn't go the way he planned.
He for sure was trying to get the shades, but
yes.
But that was why he instantly went to the gram or wherever he was live. He went, he was stunting.
Oh, okay. I got you. He had him on. He was trying to stunt them things. I got you.
Stun him, and then shit, the law, he tripping because they got cameras everywhere. And so I don't know. And then I think too, this is the second layer of it. I think boys watch too much like TV and stuff. I don't know what made you thought. I don't know what made you thought you could jump off that third floor like that and land safely.
Plus he looked like he was like 5'7", 5'8". You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Not that it was a great idea if he was 7 foot, but still, you know what I'm saying? You got a long way to fall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think it looked like he tried to hang from the balcony, tried to brace the fall, and then his hand slipped. And then, you know what I'm saying, he just came down. It was all a wrap after that.
But what made you, man? You know what I'm saying? Back in the days.
What made you think that was a good idea?
That, you know what I mean? That it wasn't going to turn out like that.
Man, you did better. Hey, look like old boy that was chasing him was slow as Christmas. Right. He could have hit that corner and made it out the door by the time, you know what I'm saying? By the time old boy got with him.
My man TJ, man, welcome back, man. He said, I live in Dallas. That's all they've been talking about on the news lately. Yeah, I mean, this was wild. I had to put this on the show, man. This is, you better play GTA 5 for with tomorrow. Like, yeah, man, boys living
yeah.
I don't know if it was part of the drugs or part of the culture. Like, what made you thought that wasn't real?
Look, it is no explanation for that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought weed was supposed to make you mellow. You know what I'm saying? That had to be some different type of drug than weed. Because I don't know what he was on to think that was a good idea.
What made you thought with them expensive glasses that they ain't watching that? We just gonna leave them out there. My thing is, let me ask you this, and I get off and I go to the next clip. Do you think this THC stuff that they own now is making the brain develop slower? Because something be wrong with these boys.
THC? What THC stuff you talking about?
I'm talking about the new, whatever they putting in that weed, man. They putting some kind of new. They putting all kind of.
They like lacing it stuff.
The weed back in the days don't smell like the weed now.
Yeah, because that's because they got 30,000 different strands.
Yeah, they got the weed now smell like a marker or something. It smells different.
And then they got all these weed strains, you know what I'm saying, that's supposed to make you do all kinds of, they got all kinds of names and stuff for them. So they got to be mixing something with it.
My thing is, a marker is chemicals, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, it smells like a bunch of chemicals. So I don't know what,
I couldn't tell you. I stick to these things.
Right.
So I couldn't tell you nothing about that right over there.
So I think, this is my theory. I might be wrong. I think with this drug-induced society, they got introducing these chemicals. Then you eat Doritos and shit. So it's just the mental capacity not there. Like, why would you? That is the dumbest thing that you could do. Like, all right, back in the days, already you got caught stealing, you booking it. I'm not jumping off off the building and then think I'm gonna survive. Yeah, that's like. You might well, that you commit suicide or something.
The drugs
you got me, man. Come on, let's do this night in jail.
Come on. But then now, you know what I'm saying? Now he may not ever be able to walk again.
Exactly. So
both legs broke. That's crazy.
So my point is, does this impair these new drugs impair your judgment? To where
I'm sure it does.
Totally stupid.
I'm sure drugs, just like alcohol and everything else, you know what I'm saying, impairs your decisions.
Right.
And I don't know what he was on, but he was definitely on something that impaired his decision. Now, here's the other thing to take into it.
Right.
Not only did you break your legs, you know what I'm saying, and you actually hauled off to jail, now you the laughing stock on social media. You just went viral.
Yeah, you went viral for all the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons. Not the reasons you was trying to, because you was trying to be flying
Right.
somebody else's glasses. Not that.
Right.
You going viral because, you know what I'm saying, you a dumbass criminal.
Right. It's America's stupidest criminal. The dumbest stuff ever, man.
Can't make
do something else and stuff with the else. Yeah, man. I don't even know. I don't even know all this designer. They got Tootsie and all that all that other stuff. I don't even know all this stuff, man. They got
I can't keep up with it.
I can't call it. I'm gonna just play these and they random, man. I'm gonna just play these. I got them. I don't really got no particular order. Let's just run them and react to them. Not all of them about real estate though. So let's run it.
You see, the average black family passes on, listen to this, $0 to the next generation. Yep, I said 0. That means when somebody dies, the family gets nothing. No wonder we cry so much at funerals. We're grieving twice, grieving over losing a loved one and grieving that they didn't leave us anything. You see, other ethnic groups leave wills, but we leave bills. Well, what does Proverbs 13:22 say? A good person leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That means our money should impact at least 3 generations. It should impact ours, our children's, and our grandchildren's. So we have to start building generational wealth.
I don't know if I'll let you go ahead and run it. I don't know if I had that one before. I don't think so.
That video before?
I don't think so.
I don't recall if you did.
I mean,
we did so many videos, and it's hard to tell. But for sure, I think, you know what I'm saying, that's a big point to be made. Because I was gonna say, you know what I'm saying, they do leave something when they go. They leave bills. And especially the biggest bill of them all is that funeral bill. It ain't no burial insurance, nothing. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people gotta scrape together something or do a GoFundMe to try to raise that money in order to bury somebody. So it's very unfortunate, but it's 100% true. And, I think the tides are changing as far as that goes. But I think, you know what I'm saying, the older generation, the baby boomers, I think at that time, you know what I'm saying, they were just trying to survive themselves. They weren't thinking about the next generation.
Right. I got a more controversial take.
All right.
I agree with you. I think the premise is off. I'm going to have to say, maybe I just been on that. I was watching that Tate interview, but I agree with maybe I'm coming off of that, but I see it from that angle right now. I think it's because our community, we have a matriarchy, and we don't want the only ones that have kind of like a matriarchy. And then don't forget that one of our strong points, we kind of taken after the mom with no discipline, no father in the household. Most of us single mama raised, we taking after the mama discipline as far as financially, and they're gonna spend it all. So that's why they did let feminism rock, because they know they got 2 taxable incomes now, and they know that I'm gonna market these, potato chips and everything else, all these gadgets during the day, so that that woman can spend it, and they know that they're not gonna be as disciplined. And we kind of taken after that. So you got to break the curse to try to, all right, I can't do like mama do. Mama ain't, don't worry about the bill last. What mama gonna buy that hair first, and I'll pay that bill when I get paid. Or I get kick that can down the road, get them extensions until you got to pay that thing. So they're gonna spend it all and live for the moment, because that's what they do. But we can't do that. So we got to go more. We got to be more disciplined and live for the future, not for the now. And I think what happened with this generation right here is a lot of mama raised men, so we live for the now, YOLO. And that's why we ain't passing nothing now. We flexing right now.
Damn, B, you gonna put all the financial literacy, you know what I'm saying, on the mama, the female? What about these cats with these 1980 hoopties, you know what I'm saying, that got spinners on them? You know what I'm saying? They got to put 24s and spinners and TVs inside the car. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That
the
ain't frivolous
matriarchy.
spending.
That's the matriarchy, man. Like we want to look good. You know,
But you know
we
what I'm saying
want to
these are the same dudes that's having kids, that's
right.
having babies, that they're passing them bad spending
Yeah,
habits.
and it all comes down. It all keeps going, rolling down, generation to generation. No discipline.
But it all starts with the mama. Is that what you're saying?
It all because we have a matriarchal type of community where we. That's my take on it. We.
Oh, God damn.
If you look at them boys,
Mm-hmm.
you know, how they come up and how they stay on top, they still stay with their tradition. They still stay with that patriarchy.
Who stay on top?
Yeah, them Jays. I can't say we on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Okay. So what about all the self-made millionaires?
What do you mean?
So you know what I'm saying? How come they didn't adopt? You know what I'm saying? All the black self-made millionaires, the guys that, you know what I'm saying, actually created businesses and made themselves millionaires. And they come from a single mom household, single parent household, where their mom is. You know what I'm saying? But you giving the blame to the mom, but do they get credit for the ones that have actually raised self-made millionaires to come up and be able to provide for themselves and the family?
We're gonna have to take a poll on that. I believe, and I don't have the statistics on this. I believe that most of us come up off of entertainment and sports, which is entertainment as well. So that's
we had that debate before.
Yeah, most of that, and I think, you know, entertainment. I think, you know, and either that or, like, you know, some of us be businessmen and some of us, you know, stuff like that. But I think, from what I've seen, is that mama, even then, that's why a lot of athletes go broke, because they still W-2 had this W-2 mentality. You know, they got the money because they got a high skill set because they're naturally gifted or was gifted to work their butt off. But that you know, a lot of how many people built like businesses like from besides like Damon John that came like from like, but even he mixed entertainment in with that, with FUBU and with the
here's
rap.
the thing. But here's the thing, you know what I'm saying? Damon John used the entertainment industry as a platform in order to market his business, right? Which is the same thing that a lot of people are doing now. He was just kind of one of the pioneers that did it back at the time.
Right.
But I think from any standpoint, you know what I'm saying, it's the same thing as Tom Brady doing the GOAT commercial for Foot Locker. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's been the same way. I don't care what culture you in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The entertainment and the actual business atmosphere actually mixes with each other. But not in not every single case
not every
is that true. So for example, you know what I'm saying, what about the CEOs? Maybe they didn't create the business, but they worked their way up the ladder to become CEOs of Fortune 500 companies. You can't necessarily say that's entertainment.
Well, I mean, that's the minority. That's very, very small, if any. I have to look and see how many black CEOs are they in Fortune 500 companies. I got to look that up. And that's very, very small. If there's the majority, when we're talking 51% or more, is entertainment and sports. And that, you know, that has something to do with the mama. Yeah, they, you know, like even Dion said, so, you know, the linemen and the, you know, they want single mama raised, but that quarterback, they want daddy in the mix. You know, so. But even if you come from a single parent, a double parent household, I think in our community, mama's still ruling shit.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but for the majority, we're talking 51% or more.
No.
Yeah, I'm thinking, for sure.
No. For sure. I would fair to say, you know what I'm saying, if it was taking a survey, for sure it's 51% of the man leading the household.
Nah. The last strong man we had period, like the role model wise, was James Evans, and they killed his ass off. So
This man said James Evans. Oh, so Uncle Phil didn't lead his household?
Nah, Uncle Phil was beta.
If we talk about TV character, you know what I'm saying, Uncle Phil was beta. What?
Yeah, he was beta. Uncle Phil was beta. Cliff Huxtable was beta. We had an alpha that had discipline in a minute.
But here's the thing, though. What's classified as discipline? Do you have to come off as an angry black man and lay your iron fist down every time? Because I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way to lead. That ain't the only way to lead.
Nah, you gotta have discipline. That's what we're lacking.
You got to have discipline. I 100% agree with that. But you know what I'm saying, I think there's plenty of ways to show that.
Right. Well, you don't have to be angry, but how far they kind of did what they wanted to, man. You know, think about it. Carlton and Hillary kind of did their thing. They did what they want to.
I think they did what most normal kids do, which is push the limits. You know what I'm saying? To see what they can get away with and what they can't.
Right.
But I think, you know what I'm saying, that's regardless of discipline. That's regardless of what the situation. That's just kids. That's just being young. If you tell your kid not to touch that stove, you know what I'm saying, it ain't until they touch that stove and burn themselves before they be like, damn, I should have touched that stove.
Right. My man TJ said, right on 28 more gens. He said, plumbing HVAC is not for them. If they being a social media influencer and a TikTok is the way out. I'm an HVAC tech and I love this trade. I mean, that's where you go, man. Be the champion of your. I tell my mentees all the time, you got to get cold at something. You know, what we do is we bounce from thing to thing and look for the easiest thing. And that's the wrong way to go, you know. And
I think that's across the board too. Because, you know what I'm saying, look, it's nothing to get, is no knock. There's no knock against this industry. But, you know what I'm saying, I do believe that a lot of women that's lost and have no idea where they go, what they need to do or what they want to do, go into nursing.
Right.
Just the same way they go into teaching, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of them, you know what I'm saying, that go in the industry that they don't actually love. So it's a good thing that TJ actually loves HVAC. But I got a question for TJ, and then I'll let you finish your point, B. The question for TJ is, did you ever go to college?
Right.
I don't care if it was a semester, 2 semesters, 3 semesters, whatever the case may be. Did you ever go to college, or did you go straight into HVAC school and then start working as an HVAC tech? That's what I'm curious to know.
Right. I mean, but either way, like, find out while you're young what you like to do or love to do, grind hard for 5 years, and then be financially free for the next 50. You know, get a game plan together and really work at it. Get your own company or whatever, apprentice under somebody, learn from them, get your own company, and get cold at whatever. Learn all the ins and outs of it. You know?
So here's the thing, you're saying that you don't necessarily have to. It doesn't necessarily have to be just 5 years.
You see, went for half a day. You didn't make the whole semester. Damn.
Half a semester at University of. Hey, look, sometimes it don't take you that long to figure out, man, college, this shit ain't for me. Right. Moving on to the next thing.
Right.
So here's my thing, you know what I'm saying, that I wanted, the reason why I asked him that, because HVAC, I believe you got to go to a trade school, maybe 6-month, year program, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, in order to actually get a certification. But you don't have to go to college, you know what I'm saying, and spend all this goddamn money trying to figure out what exactly you want to do.
Right.
It just doesn't make sense. You go and get $50,000, $60,000 of student loans just to determine, you know what I'm saying, man, I want to be a teacher. So now I got to go pay this money to go into a teacher certification, or I want to be an HVAC, or I want to be an IT technician, or whatever you want to be, you know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense.
Right.
So to me, until you figure it out.
Most of us have that Arrested Development, and we treat college as 13th grade. So, and it's still something just to do to have fun and the experience. It's not really a game plan. Most people don't get serious. You know, I mean, I'm talking about from my experience.
But here's the thing, B. When me and you grew up, you know what I'm saying, I think beating college into somebody's head was a lot more prevalent than it is now. Right. I think it's a lot more acceptable if you say, man, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to college. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nowadays, you know, because you got so many other ways to make money.
Correct.
Because in the 90s, they used to pump college. You know, school days. We came out when school days. I was in junior high when school days came out, so that was like you had to go to college. You know. So, all right, let's write this next one. This is gonna be controversial.
Bills as a 23-year-old single mom. This is basic necessities only. So my rent is $2,600. I live in Buckhead, so damn near anywhere in Buckhead, a 2-bedroom because I got a kid. That's gonna be $20,000.
They always live in Atlanta most of the time.
In the 2000s for sure. My phone bill is $800. Now before y'all start asking me why is my phone bill $800, I got my 2 brothers on there, my cousin on there, my daddy on there, and I got 2 phones on there. And then my brothers and my cousin, they all have iPads on there as well. So it's like
That's diabolical. First of all, your rent being 26. Nobody in a 2-bedroom that is under the age of 30, unless you're a millionaire or unless you're well on the way to being a millionaire, should have rent that is above $2,000. I don't care if you have to lower the area that you live in. And again, I'm not even going to address the single mother thing right now because that's not important. The more important thing is how are we managing our budget and our finances? And most of the time, we spend our way out of success. And what that means is it's much easier to climb a mountain when you don't have rocks inside of your backpack. And so, right now she's 23 years old and she's feeling invigorated and she's a hustler and she's in Atlanta and whatever, so on and so forth. And I'm sure she's going to talk about later in the video of how it is that she makes her money. But more importantly are the expenses that we have on a daily basis. When you have an $800 phone bill, and most of it is not even of your doing, that is a problem. That is a huge problem. And this is one of the reasons why we are considered the biggest consumers, which is beneficial to the banks because the banks look at how much they can lend you based off of your ability to be able to pay it back. That's the whole idea of a credit score. But when you need it as a consumer, when you have consumer debt, because we always talk about debt and how debt is not bad and how we need to, more importantly, be concerned about the credit score, but the credit score is only there because they're evaluating whether or not they want to lend to you. And so when you have consumer debt, which you then pay interest on, or you overspend, you remove your ability to be able to put more money into the things that really matter, like stocks and cryptocurrency. And so we basically working and trading in our time for money so that we can buy stuff or take care of people that are unwilling to take care of themselves.
Like it be like between $800 and $900. My insurance is $600. I live in Atlanta. That stuff is explanatory. Georgia Power is like $100. Wi-Fi is $70. My gym membership is $267. It's really supposed to be $300, but because I'm under 27 or 25, it's only $267. That 40-piece discount. I got a trainer. He charged $495 for the month, and my credit cards are $100, which comes up to $5,032.
And that's not even probably paying off the entirety of the balance. This is bad.
My bills as a 23-year-old single mom. This is basic necessities only. So my rent is $2,600.
What you think, man? I'll let you go first.
Look, that is a lot to unpack. Lord, I got so many opinions about this woman here. You know what I'm saying? But
before you get into that, let me see. He said my brother told me how much he was making in HVAC field. I dropped my IT classes. I got my HVAC certification in 6 months. First job salary $60K. I was making $30K at the warehouse, so he doubled up.
Come on, man. Yeah. Come on, man. Hey, look, you $60K off the muscle in 6 months. Right. It's a lot. It's a lot of people that go 4 years and don't make $60K, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like it just absolutely just makes sense. Like old boy said, you know what I'm saying? That's my new word right now. It's diabolical, man. This shit is diabolical. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because at the end of the day, it doesn't make sense to get yourself in debt when you can actually make a living. You know what I'm saying? Making, good money, whatever case may be. Anyway, so to get back with what the lady's saying, first off, with me and you being in real estate, we automatically, the thing off the muscle is that you're paying $2,600 for a rental.
Right.
You're paying $2,600 times 12 per year, and you get none of that back. There's no return on that. That's $2,600 that's pissed away on rent. Right. That's the first thing. So you know what I'm saying? The first thing is if you can afford a $2,600 payment, then you can afford a house. And you need to get a house. That's the first thing. The second thing is, you know what I'm saying, you can't bring the hood with you. I don't care if they your family or not. You know what I'm saying? You can't bring them with you, especially when you a single mom. She living a life of an athlete, a basketball player that's making millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? I got everybody on my payroll. I'm paying for your cell phones, because that's the one thing that she didn't say. Here's my bill, $800 phone bill, but everybody pays their own phone. She never said that. Right. Everybody pays their own portion. And even if she did say that, I'm guaranteeing everybody ain't paying their portion because it ain't in their name. They don't give a damn if they fuck up your credit. I'm 100% guaranteeing that. So the other thing is this. A gym membership for $200, damn near $300?
Damn, that's without the training.
B, what?
What kind of gym is that? Man, you better go in the backyard for free.
B, we got Fitness Connection down here that's $10 a month, right? You even got Lifetime. Lifetime got one of the nicest facility gyms out there. You know what I'm saying? Even they $100 and something.
Right.
damn near $300 is absolutely diabolical. It's shit. Hey, look, but here's the thing, you know what I'm saying, is that as me and you know what I'm saying, dealing with people finances on a day-to-day basis, people are going to justify bad decisions all day long.
Right.
And I guarantee you, I'm saying, she got all the excuses in the world why she has to pay for this. The key word that she said was necessity. I have to pay for this. Like, I need this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's spending all this money as if I actually need it, as if it's food and water that you need to actually survive, which is absolutely ridiculous. But it's unfortunate that, you know what I'm saying, there's nobody there to, one, teach her better, to make better financial decisions, because obviously everybody wants to stick on the payroll. Unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, it'd be the school of hard knocks that teaches her that, you know what I'm saying, this is absolutely stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying, this is financially crazy, especially as a single mom. So eventually she'll learn. But the second thing is that she has to be making great money at her job. That's the one thing she didn't say how much money she's making.
Come on, man.
She has to. Like, there's no way that you could justify it. It absolutely no way you can justify that unless you're making decent money at your house.
I know you're not that game goofy. She job unless professional girlfriend is a job.
No, first off, you know what I'm saying, she has a job. First, you know what I'm saying? The first thing. The second thing is, I guarantee she's counting in child support. Whatever she's getting in child support, she's counting that's going towards this astronomical lifestyle that she's supporting herself, her child, and then the rest of the family. Right. Not just her and her kid.
Right. This is the new. I mean, like I said, there's a lot to unpack. I just wanted, before I even start saying this is what I'm talking about. This is what I was talking about in the previous clip. This is where we get the habits from. And so the kid, especially if it's a boy, where you think, if she undisciplined, where the discipline gonna come from? It's gonna go. You know, you think she passing anything down with $5,000 raw, and she ain't talking about putting anything in the belly. She ain't said nothing about going on trips and hit that mall either. So she probably with all that, that's at least about $7,500. And then what about taxes? And all the rest of the stuff that if she do have a job, which I doubt.
$800, man. $800. I just can't get over that.
So you're looking at $100,000 a year type lifestyle. Why do you need the $2,600 worth of rent? Because you want to be.
But you know what I'm saying, here's the thing though. Because she's young and she's 23, I don't like driving. It's what I'm just saying, what she tell herself, just from experience, what she tell herself is, I don't like driving, so I need to be close. Well, Bankhead is right there, you know what I'm saying, close by Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? It ain't too far. It's right there in the heart of it, or whatever the case may be. She's telling herself that she needs to be close because if she wants to go out, she wants to do anything, she needs to be in close proximity of it. And she's in her mind, she's making an excuse where she's justifying that, and it makes no sense whatsoever.
Right. Well, that's the point. The point I'm telling you, like, it's generational. It's in the genetics now. It's a bunch of stuff that don't make sense. And it's embedded in our culture. And we do this for looks and likes. And this is what it is. There's no way you need, $2,600 and you renting an apartment, or a townhouse or whatever you renting. Two bedroom. Like, come on. What adult would make that decision? A rational adult would make that decision. This don't make sense to me. But anyway, this to further unpack it, I think this is the new society. I think we cook. I think, as a result
cooked
of
as what though?
Huh?
Cooked as what? As a cooked as what? As a generation? Or what are you talking about? Cooked as a culture?
Society. I think it's only gonna get worse. I don't think it's gonna get no better. And the reason why I don't think it's gonna get any better is because of the attitudes and the mindset of today's youth. Like, they used to have a communal sense or think about the future, but the IDGAF attitude is predominant. So they don't give. They care about now. They care about themselves. I call them millennials. So why would they do any better or try to, set a better example or try to do better for the next generation? It's all about me, me, me. So it has no choice but to get worse. I think, for the next 20, 30 years, you're going to just see the steady decline. People not getting married no more. They stop having children. It's getting bad right now. So I think it's going to get worse.
But I agree with that to a sense, but I wouldn't necessarily put that on just bad money spending. I would put it on that. So
it's the attitude. It's the attitude. Just to finish my point, it's the culture now. It's the social media, slide the DMs and options and nobody, everybody for themselves. There's no communal sense. I think that's the destruction of the nuclear family. And then no family, there's no community. Everybody, individuals, is just all chaos right now.
I actually, kind of disagree, at some point. So here's the thing is that, I think it actually will get better. And the reason why I think it'll get better, which is crazily ironic, but I think it will get better just because of social media. Social media has actually destroyed the society, but I think it is actually going to make it better too, because we want to floss just like the next person floss. In order to floss, you got to go out there and get it. Now, I do think, social media has kind of spoiled our kids to make them believe that, oh, well, I'll just be a social media influencer. I don't need a regular job. I'll just be an influencer and make millions and millions of dollars. I'll be like, what's the man name?
There's a bunch of
the number one streamer. Number one streamer, whatever number one streamer is, Mr. He got the Mr. Goodbar thing, whatever case may be. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like him. I want to be like Casanat. You know what I'm saying? I want to be like these guys right here, whatever case may be. Well, in order to do that, you have to get off your ass and actually do something. So we all know, just like, real estate, some people are going to get off their ass and actually do something and succeed. Some people are not. But I think, seeing that on a consistent basis and not having to actually be in an environment where people are actually doing that, I think it's going to change society where, they're going to have to work. They're going to have to do something because they want to floss for social media. They want to floss for their peers. They want to be able to stunt.
Half of them fake it till they make it.
They're going to fake it till right. But they fake it till they make it, but they're faking it so that they can put in the effort to make it.
That's the whole thing, is to cut corners. So instead of waiting till I get it, I'm gonna pretend like I have it. I'm a crop and paste, not AI coming out. So everybody gonna have the AI bots. So it's all gonna be illusion.
Yeah, but eventually somebody's gonna call your bluff. I mean, you floss on social media, somebody's like, oh, okay,
it's all fugazi.
Nah, not necessarily. Eventually the roosters come home to roast. You know what I'm saying? To roost or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, somebody's going to call you and say, hey, look, man, love to have you on the podcast. Love to have you on the podcast, explain exactly what you did. You can't go on there and be like, man, I'm just faking it. I'm bullshit.
Right.
You got to say something.
TJ said, no lie, Bill's right. On top of that, girl coming out of high school, starting their own family, becoming strippers. Instead of those trying to start a family, thinking about hot girl summer. I mean, that's the new society. It's like they used to, a family, a housewife used to be a thing. Now they consider that slavery. They don't want to do that. They chose not to. They rather do, be independent and be boss babes.
Yeah.
Dudes getting tired of it. That's why you got the passport bros and all that stuff. So they're not even dating no more. They're not even, like, all right, well, they might as well pay for the box.
No, B.
I'm telling you what's going on with these young cats.
You got
all right, TJ younger than both of us.
All right.
Is these young cats waving the right flag and paying for that box and skipping the dating? Or they still try to do traditional dating and then try to find a girl? What's becoming more prevalent? Boys is all right. Well, let me just, they strippers anyway. Let me just go ahead and kick you a couple of dollars, get that box, and just go to the next one.
Man, no. But look, here's the thing, B. Since I was in high school, cats been doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's just more prevalent now. It's just more out. It's just more out now because of social media. Because you can easily pull out your iPhone and record or do whatever it is that you need to do. It's more easier now.
I rest my case. That's
right.
It's
which I'm saying the same thing, but cats been doing that, B. Since me and you was in high school.
It's cutting corners. The shortest lane between 2 points is a straight line, right? So, boy, all right, let's just get to the point.
Right, but what I'm saying is that if you're doing if guys are doing the exact same thing now that they were doing 20, 30 years ago, but now it's just more of a media focus.
I'm gonna tell you the difference. 30 years ago, our era, we still had the illusion of a family. Now the women say, I don't want a family.
B, stop it. Stop it, B. You 23, 25 years, you 23, 25 years old thinking about a family, B, stop it. Stop it.
Am I lying? Are the women nowadays saying they want to be family women, or they saying, I will think about that when I get my 30s and 40s? But for the 20, they gonna do them.
Everybody doing them at 20, just the same way we did it, B.
So in my days, we didn't have high school sweethearts.
Oh yeah, the same way we got high school sweethearts now.
But they throwing the OnlyFans together.
No, come on.
I'm trying to tell you, it's changing. It's changed up, man. You live in
here you go. Hey, look, what parents gonna let these cats start at OnlyFans together, B?
All right,
stop it. Come on,
you
stop
living
it.
in the bubble, man. TJ, be my witness. You're young. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? It's evolved. It's not what you think it is no more.
B, all right. So I use an example. You got your boy Travis Hunter that went to Colorado. You know what I'm saying? He was dating his high school sweetheart.
No,
and he took her everywhere that he went.
No,
that was his high school boo. He took her everywhere that he went, and he eventually married her. He's in the league right now. He married her. That's what I'm saying. And he's young. Are you gonna say he's old?
Nah, they been in college.
No, they was in high school.
Man, all right. Even if he was in high school, she curved him at first. He slid in the DMs. That's what I heard. And then until she found out who he was.
No.
All right.
Hey, look. He was top 10 in high school. What you mean? When did she find out who he was?
See, look at TJ say, yeah, they even talking about they'll freeze their eggs. It's getting bad out there. It's getting weird out there, man. It's getting weird. I'm trying to tell you, it's different.
It is different, but it doesn't take away from the situation, you know what I'm saying, at hand.
Right.
What we talking about? You talking about there's no high school sweethearts right now. And I'm telling you that there is.
Right. He said no, he said Travis' girl cousin told her that's Travis Hunter. He plays for Deion Sanders. Tell you, that's what I say. I don't think he got her till college. And then her cousin told her, because she curved him at first. And her cousin told her who he was. Girl, you tripping. He about to make that money. And then she got on him.
She might have said that, but that was in high school.
You see
that was in high school. All I'm saying is that
the footage of the wedding. She didn't want to hold the man's hand.
She did. Hey, look. I'm not saying he did the right thing. All I'm saying is that, you know what I'm saying, they started off in high school and they carried on. She followed him to JSU, which she was at, and then she followed him to Colorado. Wherever Travis Hunter went, he got home. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, she seen that paper chase. She seen that paper. Her cousin told her, you tripping. You need to get at him. Because she ain't like him at first. And she won't blame him while he was with somebody. Nah, she thought the man was ugly or something.
When was that conversation? When was that conversation had? And then that's the first thing. And the second thing, it
was in college, bro.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah, man, come on. That was a bad example. You just said you messed up with that one. That's a bad example.
No.
Yeah. Said 2021, man. She just met that dude, man. And Travis is the type of dude, bro. He probably in the books. He's like a straight A student. He's a nerd. He's kind of game goofy. That's probably it's probably the best he's had, and he went with it. He just got to learn the hard way. He's the type of cat that got to learn the hard way. You know, I'm pretty sure Dion told him.
They tried to warn him. They tried to warn him.
I'm pretty sure Dion told him. Because he even said that on camera, like, man, we got to get Travis on these prenups. You know? So he want to be game goof. He want to get suckered. He want the experience. All right, cool. It's going to cost you. You know? It's going to cost him a pretty penny. She about to be one of the richest women in America. You know? Let's get to this next one. But I think it was all around bad.
Shit's getting weird. Part infinity.
What you think it is, man?
No matter what, just hit it hard. Every day. For the people. For you, it's a stepping stone. No matter where you at, make the best of it. You asked for it. So that means you go all the way through till you level up. Let's go.
They fired this nigga. Walmart fired this nigga for being too strong. I would never go above and beyond for a corporation. And I've worked at Walmart, overnight shift, stocking the boxes and stuff like that, long time ago. And I never went above and beyond because I knew what it was from the jump. Corporations don't care about you. I've seen it firsthand, right? They'll be like, "Oh, it's family. We can do it as a team together." And then you do some shit and they'd be like, "You're out of here." Huh? I was going above and beyond. You're a liability, so you're fired. It's fucking nasty work. You remember not too long ago when they were like looting a lot from the CVS's and Walgreens and stuff like that? And there were some people that was like, I'm going to protect Walgreens and CVS. Don't do that. Don't do that. Read that shit you signed. You go and you try to protect whatever the store, thinking you're doing the right thing. Guess what? You out of a job. It's nasty. Anyways, just remember, go collect that check from your job and then go above and beyond in your life for the things you want to do, things that make you happy. Okay. Shit.
So I put that in there. This is the new attitude. I'm torn that I kind of feel him, then I kind of don't. But this is the new attitude.
Kind of feel him, but kind of don't. What you mean kind of feel him, but kind of don't?
I feel him on that you're supposed to put you first, but I don't think you should loaf the job. I think how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you chose to do this job, go hard at it. However, I wouldn't break my leg. I wouldn't risk my life for it because, again, it's these people's vision, not mine. However, people take it too far. Again, they cut corners. So just because this is not your corporation or your job, they do the very minimal. I don't believe in that. I believe in set yourself a standard. My standard is excellence, and I'm always going to do better than the average cat, but I don't believe in loafing on the job.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel them. Yeah, I wouldn't go above and beyond like to where it jeopardizes my life or my health. However, I'm going to have a standards of work where my work is going to be spotless and flawless. He said corporations only here to make a profit, Robert Kiyosaki. Yeah. I mean, I feel it, but at the same time, I think these young cats take it too far. They don't want to do jack. They want to do very minimal.
They don't even want to do their job.
They ain't want to do the job. Come on, man. Don't even come if you don't want to do the job.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So that's why I don't feel it like as far as like, all right, well, cool. I mean, don't kill yourself, but at the same time, it is called work. So, do the job at least, you're getting paid. So do something.
Man, look, I was at Walmart a couple of days ago. They literally had 3 cats that was in the back where you can see from, because they got these hallways, they ain't got no curtains or nothing like that. They knew it was in the back. And they was literally sitting there on their phone, more than likely on a clock, sitting there on their phone, scrolling. I don't even know what they were supposed to be doing, but they were just sitting there.
Right.
And I'm just like, well, how, you know what I'm saying, you expect, but if they ended up getting fired, if the manager saw that and they ended up getting fired, then they're pissed off about a corporation. The corporation don't care about me. But you know what I'm saying? They're paying you to do the job.
Right.
They're paying you to do the job. If I'm paying you to do a job and you're not doing it and you're just sitting on the clock riding money, technically that's stealing.
Right.
And if you're stealing from me, I'm firing your ass. Even if you're family. So even if I'm preaching, you know what I'm saying, we're family, we're this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be. If you get caught stealing my money, you know what I'm saying, because I'm paying you to do a job and you're not doing that, you're just riding the clock, just taking money. Oh yeah, you definitely fired.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying, we can't complain about that.
Right.
We can't use the whole family thing for that.
It's the victimhood mentality. Again, I blame it on the feminism, but it's that.
Oh goddamn! Everything can't be feminism, B.
Everything. That's the civil rights. Hey, that's what, you know. We need to go ahead and march, man. We're going to make a march on Capitol Hill, man. The feminism.
Man, you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
It
ain't no way. You know what I'm saying? Feminism. You blame it on feminism. I blame it on lazyism.
Nah,
that's what that shit is.
Where do you get the laziness from?
Lazy. You can have one parent in the household. You can have two parents in the household. That's just lazy.
You just go ostrich, just stick your head in the sand on the
no, not at all, not at all. Because I think you're gonna get the same result, regardless whether it's a man leading the household or a woman leading the household. A lazy worker is a lazy worker. Period.
Let's go back to the point. The point is that now they want, I guess, just direct deposit money into their account. They don't actually want to do the job now, so they just cut the corners all the way. So, you know, they don't want to do anything. So my philosophy back in the day, you got time to lean, you got time to clean. So, you know, you know, so that's gone nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, so, but nowadays, you know, they'll fight for the right to lean. Like, why I can't lean? Why I can't scroll on my phone? Like, because you getting paid. You know, I don't pay you to scroll on your phone. But they'll fight for the right to, you know, he's a hater.
Yeah. You don't like me.
Yeah, he don't like me.
Of course he don't like me because your ass don't work.
Because he don't like me because I'm black. You know, this is the victimhood. This is the automatic victimhood. And you can't tell me that don't come from, come on, man. Knock it off. You can stick your head in the sand.
Whoa, the victimism comes from feminism too? Is that what we saying?
Yes, indeed.
Oh my God. Hey, look, man, you listen to too much tape. I need you to stop listening to that shit. Hey, look, I need a little even media across the board for what you listen to.
Nah, man,
you know what I'm saying?
That's where it all stems from.
Nah.
Where it all stems from. Let's go to the next one.
They just keep building homes in Florida. I'm here at a home building site, and they must have at least 30 or 40 homes under construction right now. Many of these homes that are close to finished, they're just sitting vacant. They're waiting for buyers, but there are no buyers. The demand here in Florida has absolutely plummeted since the pandemic. Home sales are down about 35% from peak, and the result is these builders are starting to have to cut the price. There's actually a townhome in this community as cheap as $255,000 now, where your monthly payment would be $1,400 a month. Look at this, everyone. Dozens and dozens of homes about to be completed. These are about to hit the market in the summer of 2025, and the market's already corrected. Prices in this zip code are down 6% in the last year. They're going to go down another 7% in the next year. And as a result, the inventory of homes for sale in Florida's housing market is skyrocketing. There's now over 180,000 homes for sale in the state of Florida. That's more than 70% more homes for sale than the second place state, Texas, and it's more than 3 times as many homes for sale as California. The question I'm asking is, could we see prices drop by 50% again in Florida? That's how much they crashed in the last downturn. They're already down about 4 or 5% across the state from peak in this downturn. The answer really depends on where you live in Florida. So go to www.reventure.app and access our home price forecast score under a premium plan to see where prices are heading in your area. Folks, they just...
Well, I'll let you go at it first.
That's tough. But I mean, that's the thing about Florida and California markets. It's great when it's great, but then it's bad when it's bad. Just because it appreciates fast and it depreciates fast. I don't know all the details about that community there, you know what I'm saying, as far as houses being sold, whatever the case may be. People kind of put on and they add a little bit extra, you know what I'm saying, for the gram, for clicks, likes, whatever the case may be. I don't think it's as empty as he may be putting on. But you know what I'm saying, it's not enough information to make a decision or make a judgment on this property here. But I will tell you, you know what I'm saying, there are still buyers in there, but there has to be a reason why there's no buyers in that community. It has to be a deeper reason, not just Florida. Florida's housing market is bad.
Right. I think it's media coverage. Everybody getting scared. Everybody the boogeyman, and that's why people stop spending. You know, and you know the common folks stop spending. I think it's media coverage. Listen to everybody else. And that's why we had a standstill right now. I know it's political. As far as why the rates haven't been cut, everybody's saying everybody else should be cut. Even the European rates went down. You know, so. It's all political. They're not supposed to be political, but the power definitely playing political games. Those rates should have been cut. You know, everything lined up. I know they, you know, the rates should have been cut, man. You know, everybody said every expert.
Who was everybody though?
Everybody said it should have been cut.
Who was everybody? You know what I'm saying? Who was everybody be?
Yeah, it's about that time, man. We need the cuts. You got this power gotta stop playing. He's playing political games. You know, it's this time.
Look, I actually think, you know what I'm saying, he would cut rates if Trump leave him alone. That's just my opinion.
Right. But it shouldn't be political. It should be what's best for the economy.
I don't necessarily think it's bad for the economy. Right. Just to be careful.
I mean,
but you know what I'm saying?
You see the results. Look at all this inventory. We got way more inventory than we got buyers.
But you know what I'm saying, somebody said, you know what I'm saying, it has to get worse before it can get better, right? So you know what I'm saying, I mean, if we want prices to drop down because it appreciated so much during COVID, then I mean, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of part of the recipe, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Let's run this one. I know I had to put a controversial one on there. You know,
I wouldn't expect anything less, B. Wouldn't expect anything less.
Blue boy about to start shaking.
Man said it. I say it all the time, and I'm going to continue to say it.
Everybody want to scream support black businesses, but will run to Gucci before you ever spend $1 with your own people while looking for a hookup at the same time. We want to whine about gentrification, but won't invest in your own community. Instead,
there you go.
Trash it, and then cries when somebody else moves in and builds it the up. And then the worst part, y'all expect every black person to fall in line with this ideology. Because how dare a black person think for themselves, right? How dare someone not subscribe to this self-inflicted victimhood? Y'all want unity? Start by looking in the mirror. The truth is, black folks ain't even for black folks. The biggest threat to black people ain't Trump. It ain't the police. It ain't white people. It's us. It's our own self-hatred, our own refusal to hold each other accountable, and our own addiction to playing the victim while glorifying the very that holds us back. Who's out here shooting up black neighborhoods? Not Trump. Who's rapping about killing each other, robbing each other, and treating our women like trash? Not Trump. Who's making our own communities unlivable, unsafe, and uninvestable, then crying about it and wondering why they won't build up our neighborhoods? Not Trump. Who raised us to fear and hate each other more than any racist system ever could? We did that to ourselves. But now let's keep blaming everything on racism.
I think it's invaluable that we call out this stuff so things can change. I'm sick of black people being afraid to say I disagree with what black people do. And I love that this man is one of many that are coming out, and I support men that do this, is saying, no. All of us don't think like this. All of us are not okay with this. Like, I mean, we've created a culture where it's like if you black and you know stuff is wrong, you can't say nothing. Because then you turn it on your own people. You're a traitor. You're working for the white man. When you see a whole swath of society struggling to no end, I mean, this is something that has to be addressed by everybody. But unfortunately, if you white, you can't talk about it. So that's why black people talk about it. They got common sense. I'm not turning my back on the black community. I just want better.
Let's hear this blue point.
No, brother. You know what I'm saying? No, brother. I want to hear your take on this. I want to hear your take on this first.
I mean,
let's hear that.
I mean, I've been saying the same thing, man. Y'all, the boogeyman, just said it earlier. I blame the boogeyman. There ain't no boogeyman. The boogeyman is you. Look in the mirror. You know, look in the mirror. You got Trump derangement syndrome. Trump ain't do this. They do nothing to you. Trump try to help you out. But they gonna blame Trump. you know, with this forgot her name, the little ghetto news senator. You know, everything blaming Trump. You know, you got to have a little boogeyman, a villain. You know, and it's crazy. I think it's anti-establishment, anti-American to go against your country. You should be all in. You should be proud to be here, regardless. No country's perfect. Proud to be here. Do all you can. You got an opportunity. Maximize your opportunity instead of crying about it. You know, nothing's gonna be perfect. Do what you got to do and stop all the blaming. You know, we won't blame everything on everybody else. Where do you think we get that from? You know, so
let me guess, feminism.
They got one group that don't take accountability. It's in the Bible. Where do you think that come from?
It's in the Bible.
Yes, they say in the Bible that a woman will eat a plate of blueberries, had the blueberries all over her mouth, and say, "I ate it, nothing." This is in the Bible. Zero accountability.
I don't claim to be the most religious person. You know what I'm saying? Know the Bible from back and forth, but I ain't never heard that one.
Yeah, it's in the. I read it for you. I looked it up, but it said it had the food all over the mouth. You can see it and say, "I ain't ate nothing." You know what I'm saying?
So how is that relevant to, you know what I'm saying, this video that you just showed?
Is the zero accountability. We want to blame and shift the blame on everybody else instead of the real root of the problem. The real root of the problem is us. We the reason why we're struggling. We the reason why we at the bottom. We the reason why everybody can see us consumers. We the reason why we every other community come in here and lap us. We born here and we still complaining about stuff that happened 100 years ago. You know, and people come here and get their stuff together and they whole community be rich, and we still complain about stuff. A police dog that happened in the 60s, one dog that happened, and one hose that happened in the 60s, damn near 75 years ago. Are you serious? You know, so I mean, we got to snap out of it. We talking about we don't get no opportunities, but we got the latest Jordans and iPhones on. You know, so we need to knock it off. Then the first part he talked about as far as the job, the businesses. Why do we everything we do, we got to put this caveat, like Jay-Z said, be the shortest midget. Oh, but it's black on. Why not just be like Wallow said, be the best business? Why you got to put this caveat on it? Why you American, right? You want to be equal. Well, why you got to put black on it? I think it's jealousy of other communities. They'll put like Mexican, they'll put Asian, they'll stick together. We just don't have it like that. And you want it like that, but then you try to play the blame game, the guilt game, but you just ain't got it like that. You know? So stop blaming and just, all right, well, I understand the situation. Let's grind harder. So I know there's not gonna be no support like that. So let me just be the best business out there. And then and let my work speak for itself. Then no matter who or what race I am, people gotta mess with me. We don't look at it like that. We want to, well, y'all should do this, and you should always point. That's the problem. It's the mind frame.
I think it's a double-edged sword. So, you know what I'm saying, from a business standpoint, you know what I'm saying, I do think that you benefit from saying that you black owned in some respects. You do. So the first example that kind of comes to mind is Damon John that came up with FUBU. FUBU came out, you know what I'm saying, for us, by us. They made it known up front, you know what I'm saying, it's black owned. You know what I'm saying? It's black owned, it's for the black culture. Well, you know what I'm saying? So and then they excelled from that. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know what I'm saying, when you say you're black owned and you don't give the same service, you just expect for people just to come do business with you, and you're not giving good service, you're not giving a good product, you're not giving good anything, but you expect just to succeed just because you're black owned, then I think that's a problem. But just saying that you're black owned, I don't think is a problem at all. because there's many businesses that I'm saying that claim that said that they're black owned and they get support.
Well,
it's the same. It's no different than I'm saying from when we talk about Damon John. It's no different when you talk about Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons, all in everything that he came out with, the Rush card, from a record label, to the clothing line, to everything that he did, is black owned. Even if we go down to local, when we talk about the Turkey Leg Hut always talked about their black owned, and then they succeeded. So I do think in some respects it does help. So we can't necessarily, I understand, we want to be not just a black owned business, we want to be an actual great business. You have to give great service, you have to give great product. That's the only way you're going to be able to survive. Not just the fact that you're black owned. 100% agree with that. But just to say, nobody's supposed to put that at the forefront, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Nah, I wouldn't put nothing as a forefront. If you putting your race as a forefront, that is definitely blue talk right there. It should be your product and service should be the forefront, not your nationality or your race or whatever you want to call it. It should be, this is what I do. My product is superior. My service is superior, not your skin color. That should have nothing to do. That should be secondary, if anything. So I wholeheartedly disagree. Now, I'm not saying that don't say that you black owned. All right, I'm saying that shouldn't be the excuse for you not to go hard and not be the best, and then try to blame that lack of support because you jealous of other people's support they own. Like you think you should be entitled to. We don't have it like that.
I 100% agree with that.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
I'm saying, regardless whether you're black owned or not, if you're not giving a good product and you're not giving good service,
that's my
I'm
point.
not doing business with you.
That's
period.
my point. Is that a lot of us have these businesses and think just because I slap black owned that people should mess with you. No, that's not gonna fly.
Yeah, but that like everything else, I think is a different mindset. I think some people do have that mindset.
That's a majority of the mindset. I'm gonna slap on and
I wouldn't say majority.
I'm gonna try to guilt you into doing business with me.
Majority is a little bit of a stretch. I do think there are some people that actually lead with that because they figure, regardless of what the service is, regardless of what the product is, because I'm black owned, you're supposed to support us. Right. I do feel like some people feel that way, but I do feel like overwhelmingly majority, feels like I need to provide a great product and a great service.
Why they don't do it then?
What you mean? Now, if you bring up a couple of, I'm not saying there's not a couple of examples of people that don't do it. Like I've been to several businesses that don't do it. Well, all I'm saying is that if you did a survey of all majority, I think majority of the people, want to put but it's a difference between intent. The intent to put out a great product and intent to give good service is different than not being able to do that because you just couldn't hire. You can't get the right waitresses, or you can't get the right waiter, or whatever case may be. Whatever kind of business hurdles that you run into is not to say that your intent is not there. Is all I'm saying.
Answer me straight. Is it not a thing or the stereotype? And the stereotypes are based in truth. That's why they're stereotypes.
Okay.
That when you go to black-owned businesses, that it's the service and the quality is down a peg.
It is a stereotype. It is a stereotype. It is a stereotype.
Where is that?
In some cases, it's right. It's spot on. I get it.
Right. So is that based in fantasy or is that based in reality?
No, that's based in reality.
Okay, so it's a thing.
It is a thing. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that you're saying is majority. What I'm saying is not majority. That's what we differ.
So why?
I think for the underlying theme that you're talking about, I think we agree on. But when you say majority, that's where we disagree.
If it's not the majority, then why is the opposite not the stereotype? Then when you go to black owned, you get this high quality service. Why is that not a thing?
I think it depends on who you talk to, though.
So where do you see that? All right. Well, it used to be a thing where you go to Hispanic contractor, you're gonna get the job done cheap and quick. You go to a Jewish lawyer, you're gonna get the best. why is that not a thing for us? We know that if I get to put that ball in your hand, you're gonna dunk that motherfucker.
Okay.
I know if I give you a couple of mics, you might could bust a note.
Right.
You
right.
know.
Right.
You know, and I put a song on. I guarantee you could cut that rug.
Okay.
You know, but however, why is that not a thing? Like, man, if I get it, I go to this black business, I know it's gonna be better than everybody else. Why is that not a thing if that is the majority?
The thing that, well, you know what I'm saying, it's a difference because the thing is that this spot here is black owned. So you know what I'm saying, if I run into a cigar bar, if I run into majority of the people, if you run into a business that is black owned, you know what I'm saying, which from a cultural standpoint, if you run into a business that's black owned, I'm gonna go give them a shot.
No.
You mean to tell me that's not a thing?
The question is,
why is that not a
thing? Why is that not a thing that you, in your mind, if that's the majority, that all right, I'm gonna get this rock star service because it's black owned?
No, because you know what I'm saying, even I don't give a damn what culture it is. It could be a Vietnamese restaurant. I'm gonna give it a shot. I like this type of food. I'm gonna give it a shot. But it's
talking about stereotypes.
No, there is no stereotype. When it comes to a business, there's no stereotype. The thing that I'm saying,
you agree that it was a stereotype.
No, what I'm saying, no, that I did not agree it is a stereotype. What I'm saying is that any business, as a black person, you know what I'm saying, if there's a black owned business, you're gonna say, I give it a shot. Do you not?
I'm not talking about giving it a shot.
So then what are we talking about then?
I'm talking about why is that not in the psychology of most Americans that black-owned businesses are going to be A1 service if that is the majority?
Because see, here's the thing: in majority of America, in culture, whatever the case may be, it's nobody that you think is going to get A1 service.
All right, that is not true.
How is that not true? So you know what I'm saying, if you saying that there's for example, you know what I'm saying, there's a Chinese restaurant, I'm going to go over there and I'm expecting A1 service.
No.
Who the fuck says that?
No. Well, you do expect, you expect A1 service at Chick-fil-A. You expect A1 service at...
But because that's Chick-fil-A has built a reputation on good service.
Okay, all right, cool. So why we haven't built a reputation as having A1 service in the black community as a black-owned business?
Because you have to have you have to have a brand. Each brand is different, B. You can't take one brand and make that across the board. Nobody does that.
It's not a thing. That's what my point is, because that is the minority. They not saying that they have black-owned businesses that have great service. Yes. However, that's not the majority. That's why the majority is the stereotype is that when you go to black-owned business, they're gonna have attitude, they're gonna have bad service.
I don't think there's a majority of any business, you know what I'm saying, that has great service.
All right, so
especially when you're talking about food and restaurants. You know what I'm saying?
I'm talking about any business.
I'm not really expecting that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going.
You know it's gonna be a tick. It's gonna be a tick slower. It's gonna be a tick.
Okay. So I give you an example. Walmart. Everybody shops at Walmart. Walmart is not black owned, but do you go there hoping for, you know what I'm saying, expecting great service? Expecting somebody to be like, hey, sir, what are you looking for? Let me help you out. No. Are you expecting that? No, you're not expecting that. So that's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
You're not going to businesses expecting great service. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you go to a business and get great service, regardless of who owns it, then you'll be back again.
I go based on the service. I don't go based on nothing else.
That's what I'm saying, B. But I'm saying the expectation. If you have a spot right now that's in 5 miles from you, man, I see this spot. I pass this restaurant every single day. Regardless of who owns it, I'm going to go over there and see what they got. You mean to tell me you don't think like that?
No.
Oh, my God.
No, I don't know. You
lost. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? We talking about. Hey, look, we can't have a conversation if you ain't going to be real. Yeah, you mean to tell me you ain't never passed a restaurant and be like, I'm going to give them a shot?
No,
I don't care who owns it. I'm gonna give them a shot and see what they be like. See what the food is like. See if the food is good.
Nah, that's not the point of what I'm talking about. The point of what I'm talking about is we talk about societal interpretation, societal. I would say, what's the best word for it? Societal expectations. societal expectations of black-owned businesses is that it's going to be a lower goal. It's going to be a lower. It's going to be a lower, less service. It's going to be a lower. You're dunking on an 8-foot goal.
I think that's a B Dick's expectation.
I mean,
you know but I don't think that's society. I don't think that's every majority is. I don't think that's majority. You know what I'm saying, expectation for sure.
If we don't have banging food and they don't have a monopoly, how many? Why isn't it? Where's the big?
But how do you know if they had banging food, B? How do you know if they had banging food?
Well, that's the thing.
You gotta give it a shot, huh?
No. You talking about? I'm not talking about with this give a shot. I don't know where that's coming from with that. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? No. You're saying that if it's black owned, you know what I'm saying, I'm expecting bad service. I'm not gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bad service off the muscle. No, you're saying the expectation of a black owned company is to be like, man, look, they're gonna have bad service. I'm not going over there.
No, we're talking,
and that's not true.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that. That I know. I'll give you an example. I know when I go to Cool Runnings that it's gonna take a minute for the food. I know the woman at the front gonna have an attitude. I expect nothing more, nothing less. I know, I already know it. Now,
at one point, you had to say, look, I'm gonna give Cool Runners a try.
Right.
So I already know what I expect, you know what I'm saying, when I get there. If Cool Runners didn't have good food, you wouldn't go back.
No, it's not the fact.
Hey, look, regardless of how long you have to wait, if the food wasn't good, you wouldn't go back. That's all I'm saying.
That's not necessarily true. I know it's where I was close by there when my office was there. It was close by, and I had a taste for Jamaican food. So,
okay.
And
so there's no other Jamaican spots.
There was no other Jamaican spot that I'd rather travel to, and I wouldn't want to travel to now. I would go to that boy Naomi. He black owned, but I know for a sake he gonna take a minute, and he gonna be high. Now, is the service there? No, but the food is begging.
But you know the expectation, B.
Right.
Before you went there, at some point you had to say, regardless of the ownership,
but that's not what I'm talking about.
Whatever, I had to give it a shot, right?
No, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the if it was a thing that we had great service, why is that not the majority of people's mind? The majority of people's mind is that we have bad service. Just like the majority of people mind that black people could catch the bombs and dunk on a 12-foot goal. That is the stereotype, because majority of us coming out of junior high dunking. You know, that is the and running a 4.3. You know? So that's why that's a thing.
Not quite, because every black person don't run a 4.3. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but a lot of us do.
It has to be something. No, hell no. Hell no. I know good and hell well you ain't said that, B. Because I ain't running no 4.3, and neither is your ass. Your ass ain't running no 4.3 either. So you know what I'm saying? You can't say because we black, we gonna run a 4.3. You can't say that.
As an offensive lineman in high school, I was running the 4.6.
B, stop it.
You want me to call some of my partners?
Please pull them up on the line.
Yeah, I was running the
as a lineman, B.
As a lineman, I was running the 4.6. When I got in college, I ran a 4.8, and then by the time I see you, I was running a 4.9. You know, but I went from 265 my senior year. My senior year in college, I was 350, but I still was running sub 5s.
They got cats running 4 flat right now, B. It ain't no way, you know what I'm saying, you expected every black person in America to run 4 flat, a 4.5, or whatever you want to expect.
My point is,
ain't no way.
Now, don't get asphyxiated on a number. My point is that we have superior athleticism, is the point. You know, that is the thing.
That is a thing.
Yeah. So if we didn't, why would that be a thing? That's my point. If we had great service, why is that not a thing? And why is we have bad service a thing? If that's not the majority,
but you don't know unless you try it, right?
We're not talking about.
You mean to tell me you're not willing to try it? Okay, so hold on. Let me get us on the same page, B. Summarize for me the point that we're trying to make here. You know what I'm saying?
We're
So if we're not giving a shot, you know what I'm saying,
we're not
to
talking about
black-owned businesses,
we're talking about
summarize for me the point that we're trying to make.
We're talking about the mentality of people in America based on actual facts.
Okay.
The mentality
Based on actual facts, but how do you know it's facts if you don't experience it?
Well, more people experience the latter, which is the bad service. That's why that is the stereotype.
Lord have mercy.
So you're trying to say it's the majority. If that's the majority, there should be a stereotype based on that. Just like we have a stereotype that Asians are smart at math. That's because a lot of are smart at math.
Look, when we talk about the majority is smarter in math, it's because they're winning contests. And when you think about who's winning contests, that's just what they are. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like there's backing behind it. But there's no backing behind, you know what I'm saying, every single black business, you know what I'm saying, is going to be bad.
Yeah, we're not talking about try this and try that. I'm talking about perceptions. And perceptions are based in facts, and that's where the stereotype come from.
That's not true. Because the fact is that, you know what I'm saying, if there was a stereotype and somebody truly believed, okay, so let me use an example. If you go to, let's just say, for example, if you go to McDonald's, right? And you go to McDonald's, you know what I'm saying, and the past 3 times that you went to McDonald's, their ice cream machine was down. You couldn't get no ice cream. It's a thing now, you know what I'm saying, where their ice cream machine is down. You know what I'm saying? Chances are, if I go to McDonald's, their ice cream machine is down, they're not going to be able to make ice cream. That's a fact. But you have to give it a shot, B, before you can actually make that conclusion. You can't make a conclusion just based upon something that you don't necessarily know. If a new black business popped up tomorrow, you can't make that interpretation, well, you know what I'm saying, that black business is going to be bad. I ain't going to give them a shot.
I think
they black owned. I ain't going to give them a shot.
Nobody cares about the shot. That's not the point. The point of what we're talking about is.
But the point, you're talking about the interpretation of the own business. You're talking about the interpretation. If there's an interpretation there, then that means I have an experience. I'm never going to give them a shot.
I don't who added shot. I don't care nothing about shot. Ain't nobody saying nothing about
talking about.
No, we're not talking about
shot. What you talking about, B?
No. You added shot on there. I don't care about shot. Nobody talking about that. We talking.
Okay, so just to circle this back, what you're saying is that the overall opinion is that a black-owned company, you're not going to get great service. So then why would you give any black company? Why would you go to any black-owned company if that's the case? If people truly felt that way, why would you go to any black company?
That's not the point.
Then explain to me what's the point. Because you know what I'm saying, I thought you just explained it to me, you know what I'm saying, but I think you got a little confused along the way. Explain to me what's the point then.
That's not the point of who goes in what gives them a shot. You added, that's moving the goalpost. The point is that we have this in our mind.
Okay.
And this is where the stereotypes
we come. We talking about we as a
we as Americans.
We're talking about we as everybody. Okay, all right, all right,
we as Americans.
All right, okay.
Just like you have in your mind, you have this interpretation in your mind that Jamaicans smoke weed. If that wasn't a thing, then there wouldn't be any basis on the stereotype. But the fact is that a lot of Jamaicans smoke weed. Then that's where the stereotype comes from. So what are you talking about? The shot thing? I don't care about the shot. We're saying that,
but we're talking about businesses, though. We're not talking about people doing what they want to do in their personal life. We're talking about businesses.
But it's the same. It's the same premise. The premise is that it's based on fact, right? It's based on.
So it's a fact that majority of Jamaicans smoke weed.
Probably so. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably a fact.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But it has to be based on something.
It has to be based upon experience, or it has to be based upon a survey or facts. It can't be based upon an opinion just because I met two Jamaicans and they both smoke weed. That's all I'm saying.
This has been a thing, an ongoing thing for a long time. You know that this has been in movies.
Hey, look, everybody, you want to think that because Bob Marley came out, you know what I'm saying, Bob Marley smoked weed. So then now every Jamaican falls into the same category. And that's not the case.
Nah, but it is, like I said, it's baked in the culture. It's big. My point is, we going down the wrong. The point is that, again, I keep repeating the point.
Okay, let's talk.
That stereotypes are rooted in facts.
That's not true, B.
Okay.
That's absolutely not true. Because so I use an example. When a black person get pulled over, you know what I'm saying, they automatically expected to have some kind of drugs in a car. That's a stereotype. That doesn't necessarily make it true.
I think that's a stereotype that only you think about that. I never heard that stereotype.
But I'm just saying that's a
give me a better stereotype.
That's a stereotype. That's what somebody believes. If somebody believes, he black, you know what I'm saying,
give
he
me a
got
more
tinted
common
windows,
stereotype.
he got drugs in the car.
Give me a more common stereotype.
Is that not a stereotype?
No, I don't think that's a stereotype. Give me a more common
stereotype. So you trying to say that's fact?
No, give me a more common stereotype. Listen to what I'm saying.
That is common. Police pulling black people over all the time.
No,
and giving them shit because they think that they had drugs in the car. What do you mean?
I don't think that's a common stereotype. That's real obscure.
Wow.
Yeah. So give me a better stereotype. I could give you a whole bunch of them. Is that, you know, like I said, Asians are smart at math. Or Asian kid knows karate. You know. Or something that effect. You know, Hispanics have 3 or 4 jobs or something to that effect, or they work in construction. You know, they do manual labor. That would be more of a stereotype. That's more common. You know, so
but black people getting pulled over for suspicion is not common.
No, you said for drugs. I think now black people getting pulled over.
Well, they gotta have a reason to pull them over. What else they gonna do?
They got all kind of reasons. You can have a tail light out. You could rob somebody. You could ran the red light. There's all kind of ways to pull people over. But you said specifically for drugs. I don't think that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's very, very narrow. I don't think people.
Apparently, you don't watch the news, but okay.
Yeah.
If
pull
that's,
over
if that's
like
right,
everybody.
we'll go down.
Yeah, so for drugs, that's very, very specific. I don't think that's a broad general thing. I never heard that before.
You never heard that before?
Come with another
Stop
one.
it, B. Stop it.
No, I never heard it.
Ain't never heard that before?
No, I never heard it. People pull black people over just because of drugs. And I heard like you being pulled over because I'm black. You know, but not specifically for drugs, because that's not the case. Because you know, there's white people do more drugs than we do. So I don't think that would be a good stereotype.
Okay. There's no facts to back that though.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm saying.
pick
That's just
another
an opinion. That's just an opinion.
Yeah, I just never heard it. I'm older than you. I just never heard that one. Pick something that somebody heard a lot of.
Never heard that one.
No, I never heard that one.
That's a new one to me. I don't know where you be at, B. That's
that's
crazy.
Nah, I think conflating pulled over for the drugs or something different.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I'm talking about pick another one. Are all Jews rich or something like that? That's more of a stereotype that we. You know, or they
all Jews are cheap.
You
I mean,
know,
what I'm saying you can go on and on about stereotypes, but you know what I'm saying
one
stereotype don't diminish another.
Yeah, but that's a stereotype that's more mainstream than what you're talking about. You're talking about something very obscure, if that's a stereotype at all. You know,
that's definitely not obscure.
Let's talk about that.
That's definitely not obscure. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you done travel, you know what I'm saying? You from Louisiana, you know what I'm saying? Anytime you done travel from Houston to Louisiana at night, you know what I'm saying? You automatically know that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Where the cops lined up on the side waiting to pull people over because you know what I'm saying they trying to get people over for traffic.
Most people don't get pulled over at night. They get pulled over during the day.
No,
so
bro.
I don't know where you're
Bro. They have a line of
gotta,
cops waiting on people, you know what I'm saying, thinking that they trafficking, you know what I'm saying? And I
gotta be
guarantee you,
speeding.
I guarantee you done seen that if you want to admit it or not. Guarantee you done seen it. If you don't travel from here to New Orleans, you know what I'm saying, at nighttime, I guarantee you done seen that.
Nah, the majority. That's why people travel at night because it's you can't see. They can't see you if you black or not. So you know, you get pulled over more in the day than you do at night.
Okay.
So let's be for real.
If that's what you want to live
Even
by,
Pimp C
you know
says take it easy when you.
Yeah. Hey, look, I guarantee you.
Don't forget, I used to go back and forth every
pulled
week.
over. Done been pulled over. So you know what I'm saying, like firsthand. I ain't talking about some shit that we done heard.
From 2005 to 2008, I went back and forth every weekend. So I've been up and down I-10 more probably times than you can imagine.
So then I guarantee you done seen it.
Nah,
you may not have been pulled over, but I guarantee you seen them line of cops over there waiting to pull people over.
The only time people get pulled over at night is if they speeding, or drunk, or you weaving. You know, people get pulled over during the day for anything because they could see you. You know, so that's based on my experience. I'm just telling you what I see.
I got you.
You know,
I got you.
And Pimp C even said in the song, like, he said, "Take it easy when you go through that alleyway." That's what he's talking about. He's talking about right now by Baytown.
Take a survey on that. Take a survey on that.
So you're not street savvy either. You know, that's the thing is during the day, that's when you get popped.
No,
you know,
it's at night when
they
you
can
get
see
popped.
you.
Oh no. Oh no.
I don't
Hey
know.
look. 100% fresh out of a cop's mouth. A lot of drug trafficking happening that night.
Right.
Straight out of cop's mouth. So you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me. You can't tell me, you know what I'm saying? Now here's the thing.
Well, why you thinking that night?
It's not to say that they don't get pulled over during the day. It's not to say that they don't get pulled over during the day. But at night, the alerts is high. That's all I'm saying.
It's 10 times harder to spot it at night because if you're driving the speed limit and you can't see who in the car, why would
you ain't even got to do that? You know what I'm saying? If you got a car with some rims on it that looks urban or whatever the case may be, you getting pulled over just to check.
Who would do that? Who would do that?
Just to check. Who would do what?
Yeah, that would be the dumbest. That would be the dumbest thing ever.
It would be the dumbest thing ever. But if it's not the dumbest thing ever, you know what I'm saying? And you're just innocently, you know what I'm saying, traveling from one location to the next and you get pulled over, then what?
I see now.
So then there has to be a stereotype there in order for you to get pulled over, right?
No, this is the disconnect. You talking from your perspective. You're talking from your experience. And
I'm talking from a perspective
so
of straight from a cop's mouth.
Now you were
Multiple
a college kid, and you got to. Now you're
I was out of college.
College kid. You're not talking from a.
I was out of college.
Yeah, I'm not. You're not talking from. You're not talking from a street cat, a criminal, a drug dealer's perspective. Because drug dealers wouldn't ride rims, and if he's transporting, that would be the stupidest thing ever.
Correct. But now you know what I'm saying. That's not to say suspicion is still not there. So people don't get pulled over for suspicion.
Yeah, but
we know that happens all the time.
If you're in a Prius, how can you tell if it's a black dude or an Asian mom driving? Can't see it. Not at night.
Yeah, you can't pull on side of them.
Who gonna pull on? You driving at night?
The cops gonna
night.
pull on
no
side. The cops travel up and down the highways looking for people that they think is suspicious. What you mean, B?
Nah,
there's things that done on this, man. You know what I'm saying? That they're trying to stop it.
It's different at night. Let's go ahead and run this because it's getting late. You know, I see the perspective now. You know, so that's not a thing at night. You never really hit that highway at night. For real.
Okay. I hear you.
15 years.
I drove the same car.
No vacation, same car. You probably wasn't eating out, was you?
A little bit.
I mean, like fine dining.
Oh, no. Definitely not. I sat my ass down for real, bro. Because listen, you got to make a choice. I was fighting for my economic life because I was dying. You got to look at money as life. We all eventually going to die, right?
Yep.
What we do every day trying to keep ourselves healthy is to prolong that. It's no different than having money. Money will die eventually for most people if you don't find a way to maintain it, nurture it, and take care of it. What I was doing is that I was living check to check. I always use this analogy. I had one foot on a banana peel and another foot on a sheet of ice. One false move, I'm out of here. That's how my life was. I lived with my back against the wall. I didn't want to live like that no more. What I did is, like I said, go to work. I sacrificed, went to work, and as I went to work, stacked up. When my employer gave me an opportunity to work overtime, I worked it. I wasn't too cool not to. I worked 7 days a week. Slowly, my back came off the wall.
7 days a week?
Yes.
How long?
2-3 years.
You was grinding.
I was grinding.
For real.
People were laughing at me, brother. People telling me, you corny because you ain't going out. You ain't doing this and doing that. Those same people hollering at your boy today. No more vacation.
Sacrifice, man. He said the key word, sacrifice.
Right.
That's just what most people, you know what I'm saying, that don't have money, you know what I'm saying, that's what they refuse to do is sacrifice.
Right.
Are you going to sacrifice that? Are you going to sacrifice that habit of, you know what I'm saying, your weed budget, $500, $1,000 a month, you know what I'm saying, in a weed budget or whatever the case may be, or liquor budget, whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying, whatever your vice is, you know what I'm saying, are you willing to sacrifice that in order for your future? A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, are not willing to do that.
Right. Well, we're going to leave it on that note, man. I got the, I'm falling asleep. Yeah, it's definitely past that bedtime, man. We're going to leave it on that note, man. I'm going to
That's that old man syndrome. That's all that is.
Yeah, man, shit, that's past that 12, man. I got to pop up here at probably like 8, man. So, shit. I'm going to go ahead and get them Z's. But, yeah, man, I definitely agree with him. I mean, I think what happens is a lot of people are scared to make sacrifices. Either they're too entitled, they figure they're supposed to be given success because everybody else got success, or at least in their perception, because everybody on social media look like they're balling, so they figure, why I can't ball like that. But most people faking it, and then the people that's really grinding are really grinding. You only see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see all the rest of it anchored down to the earth, all the miles and miles of how far the ice go down. So, but that's the new society, man. So that, man, we're going to see you next week.
Until next time.
All right. Peace.